Welcome back to another episode of How Did They Grow? I created this podcast because I wanted you to learn how other coaches, freelancers, service providers, and course sellers are growing their business, landing 10 to 20 new clients every single month, paying them 50, 100, 200K months. See, if they've done it, you can too. And that's just the reality. And I want you to listen to these podcasts to understand what strategies are they using, what techniques are they exploring, because it's in these gems that you can apply it to your business and actually scale things up. When you're ready and you feel like you actually want to learn practical, proven methodologies, or even you want to hire a team that can build you a profitable personal brand, book in a chat with our team because we can guarantee you go viral and guarantee you get clients for your business.
The show, guys. This is the How Did They Grow podcast, and today we have on Cameron Guyette. Cameron, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I live in Las Vegas. I've been an entrepreneur for 10 plus years, everything from real estate, different forms of that, to financial services, B2B sales, credit repair, all leading up to providing business funding to small and medium-sized businesses.
Amazing. So how long ago did you figure out that this was something you want to do long-term in terms of the funding?
Well, I've always known I wanted to have business long-term. Every time I've had a job, I couldn't stay. I've always looked at what was the owner of this company doing and how they get there. So I was just essentially looking for the vehicle to get there. But from my journey in different businesses, I found one of the biggest problems in every business was the lack of working capital. So if I could find a way to provide working capital to other businesses, then I'm solving a big problem. So once I kind of discovered that niche, a few years ago, that's when I knew this is what it was going to be.
Amazing. Did that come as like an accumulation of what you've been doing in the past, or is it something you kind of picked up?
Everything is a stepping stone, so one thing led to the next. So instead of regretting, I shouldn't have done that business or I shouldn't have done that, I can't say that because each one led to something else that ultimately led me here. So no regrets. It's all part of the process, and everything that I've done. So every job, every business, every encounter has taught me something, which I'm using all of those skills now applied to this business.
Amazing. Yeah. So kind of break down the journey for us. When you started this, it's not credit repair, is it? It's funding, right?
Yeah, it's funding. It's not credit repair.
Right. So when you started this funding repair, what was that breakthrough point that showed you that, man, this is the one and I'm going to stick with it? What was that moment? How was it like? Yeah.
I was doing credit repair before, but that was more of a B2C style business, and it just was not exciting. Everything I've kind of done B2C. Some people thrive in that space, and that's great, but I like dealing with other businesses because I like business so much in general. Whatever business is, if I find out someone has a business, even if I'm eating at a restaurant, I just like to ask, about their business. I enjoy learning about businesses. So once I discovered funding and how I could apply this, to a business, I get to talk to other businesses every day, learn about what they do and how that industry works, and provide them funding to help solve those problems. So it wasn't a, singular moment. It was kind of a progression of how it all kind of came together. But, once it did, it stuck.
Amazing. So I'm in the past, you've been able to grow those businesses with social media. So I'm assuming this is not your first business that you've used social media to scale, or your personal brand, right?
Yeah, correct. So you cut out a little bit. Say it again.
Scaling your entrepreneurship journey.
Oh, sorry. We're getting some big
We're getting
lag.
some. How about now? I think we're good now.
Yeah, I think so. Can you say it again?
Yeah, I was saying, at what point in your entrepreneurship journey did you realize that, man, I need to build this personal brand? Because, kind of break it down for the audience in terms of, a lot of them are stuck in that phase where, like, I need to get on social media and get in front of a camera.
It's a tool. So I learned that social, like billboards and magazines and all that type of stuff, and mailers, sure, people still use them, maybe they work, but social media is your personal billboard. Some people use it just for fun and entertainment, but if you have a business, your social media has to become your platform, your billboard. That is your marketing. What you talk about, the value that you bring, everything about it, should be somewhat around what you do and how you can help people. It's a social proof. I run ads for our products and services, but people will oftentimes go to the Instagram or the Facebook page, and if there's nothing about what I do there, there's just an ad, it's not congruent, it doesn't make sense, right? So I have to have the other videos and the other content on the social media that can back up what I'm saying in the ad. So that's the way it is now. I would prefer not to ever post anything, to be honest. I would prefer when I watch videos, I just like watching funny videos, and that's what I like to watch. But I know that it's part of the job, it's part of work. You have to post, you have to be active, you have to do things on there to get awareness, so people can see who you are and what you're talking about. And they all work together too. It's not just one platform, it's really all of them. But if you are doing none of them, then you need to start with one of them instead of starting with all of them at the same time. So for me, it was Instagram, and our website. And then now we do stuff on Facebook and then LinkedIn, and it just starts to kind of grow, from there. And YouTube, now we do some YouTube stuff. So, it's just growing.
Amazing. Got a couple questions from what you said. You said the content is the hard part, right? Kind of break that down. What is the hardest part for you in that content creation process?
The content's not the hard part. It's that I don't want to do it. Right. So what I was saying is I would prefer, to not post. Right. I don't care to be out there and have a bunch of views and likes, but I know that it's necessary for what I do. So that's the work, So a lot of times when I'm talking to other businesses that I'm getting funding for, and I'm asking them these questions about how are you doing your marketing, and I don't sell marketing, but these are just conversations that I have with other businesses, and I don't like to post. They say, I don't like to post, I'm not really on there. But I tell them this is key. It's necessary. If you have a massage studio or a medical clinic or something, and you're not posting anything and nobody knows you exist, the whole world's online and on social media, and you're not telling them anything, how are they going to find your store? How are they going to find you? Right? You gotta be out there. So I make videos, all that stuff. But I was just saying, if it was up to me, I wouldn't even post anything. I would just scroll and watch comedy clips, and that's about it. But I do it because it's necessary.
Amazing. That's an amazing insight. And a lot of coaches need to understand that whether you like it or not, it's 2025. You have to do it. If you're not doing it, you're already shooting yourself in the foot.
Exactly. You have to be everywhere. And even when you are everywhere, people still don't believe you, but you have to do it,
Exactly. It's the minimum. It's the bare minimum these days. Let me kind of ask you, what's your take on organic? Most of your clients.
Sorry, you cut out again?
Oh, I said, let me kind of break it down. What's your take in terms of organic versus ads? How do you get most of your leads?
I get most of my leads from ads, but I don't think in my opinion, it's not one versus the other. I think it's an and, right? One of them supports the other one. So when I run an ad, people will click on the ad, maybe they'll respond to the ad, but a lot of times they click on that little bubble and they go to my page. They go to my page to see what else is there. So that's what I was saying before, is if I had nothing there, or you click on those other pages, I've seen other people run ads and I'll click on them and I'll go to their page and there's no posts, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to click on that person's ad. That's definitely, that's definitely a scam, right? There's nothing there. But when you go to my page and there's hundreds of videos, the Instagram's been active for 10 years. There's links to my website, links to my free school community, links to everything there to kind of say, hey, this is for real. This is what I do. They support each other. Or if somebody comes across an organic video, now my ads are naturally retargeting those people who visited. So they work together. I would say it's both.
Amazing. Kind of, you mentioned school there, so I really like school. Kind of tell us a little bit about your funnel and how that looks like.
Yeah, so I have a free school account where I actually have a whole funding course on there that teaches people how to do, funding for themselves if they want. They don't have to pay us; they can do it themselves. But what I find is most people are like me, where they can sit there and watch hours of video and stuff like that, but they're running a business, so they don't always have time to learn a whole new business and a whole new skill. So that's where we come in, and we can actually get all the funding for them. But it is there. Everything is there that we do and teach, and it's free. So we run that community to help people bring in. It builds trust and value in what we're doing. So that way, when they do decide to work with us, they've already seen, that we're giving everything away. So that way, if they choose to work with us, it's a different conversation at that point.
Amazing. So from the school, let's say someone discovers you organically or through an ad. If they discover you through an ad, where does that go to? Is it directly to a sales call?
I have two ad strategies. One of them is ad to DMs.
Okay.
So we have, ad to DMs because we do need to pre-qualify them. Not everybody's qualified for funding, believe it or not. So we do ask those questions. And then if the funding sounds good to them, the type of funding we do, and they meet the qualifications that we need them to meet, then we'll send them a link to book a call. And then I do have a direct funnel as well for, those people who, don't have time to sit there and message in the DMs. The ad goes to a VSL where they can watch a video where I explain the whole thing more in depth. And then if they like what they hear and they meet the qualifications, they can then book a call from there.
I hope you're enjoying this podcast. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're learning so much practical wisdom, because that's what I really wanted from this podcast. Now, I just want to quickly say, if you're looking for a team that can actually help you explode and go viral with your personal brand with proven methodologies, I say this because I've been doing this for the past 5 years. We've got a team of 30 people who are ready to go ahead and explode your brand so you can get clients begging to work with you. Have a chat with one of our advisors. You can book in a chat using one of the links around this video, because that chat might just change your life.
Amazing. I kind of love the fact that you mentioned DMs and qualifying through the DMs. Do you only do that via ads, or do you get organic leads like that?
We do get organic mainly through school. People will find our community from, browsing on school, and then they'll come in that way. And then they'll have conversations there, or maybe they saw a post or a YouTube video. So it's more of like an omnipresence on social media where, once you've kind of seen or maybe interacted or liked a post, now you see some ads, or you saw a YouTube video, and then you went to the school. So everything's kind of bringing them all into one place.
Amazing. I love the fact that you are not just, you're not just the owner of this business, but you're really, really deep into this strategy as well.
You have to be.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be.
We were just speaking before we even started recording about the book in your background.
Yeah. Yeah. $100 million leads and offers. I follow a lot of Alex Hormozi stuff, and I think he's the best of this current time, you know, at selling and business and being online.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of break down your social media journey for us, man. How has that been? Has it been, obviously you said you rather not post, but you have to. So tell us how that has been in terms of results and growth and client acquisition in general. Or
Yeah. So
organically on the
I
organic
knew.
level.
Yeah, I mean, I used to post once in a while, just, you know, random stuff that people normally post at gym or on vacation or whatever. But when I started this business, I didn't start a new Instagram, whereas a lot of people will go start a brand new business Instagram. And I didn't do it for a specific reason. And that was the history, right? I wanted people to know that I'm a real person, that this wasn't just a brand new account with no followers and no history. I think I started my Instagram page, just a personal one, maybe in 2012 or something like that, 2011. So, you know, it's got years on it, and you can see how long this, you know, page has been open. So I just started posting on there, and I just started posting, you know, no edits, no fancy anything, lighting, not dressed up, no microphones. I just held up my phone and started talking about what I was doing now and why I was doing it. And if you go back, you can kind of see those videos, and they just slowly progress. And I got a microphone, and, you know, and then I kept going, and I got a background, and, you know, and then I got a better computer, and, you know, then I started going to a studio and filming and making content, and then I got editors, you know, so it just slowly started growing. And what I find is most people think that they need to have all of that stuff to start posting content. You don't. You just need your phone and your mouth. And that's it. And you just start talking, and you just tell a real, genuine story of what's going on. Most people get into their business from something personal that happened. I got into this space because through all my other entrepreneurial journeys that weren't working and failing and starting and failing, I managed to mess up my own credit. So I was looking for credit repair for myself. Once I learned about credit repair, I said, I can sell this, right? So I started selling credit repair, and I just told my story of how I messed up my own credit and how I fixed it. And now I can fix it for you. And then as that grew into business funding, it was the same thing. We grew our business by using the same funding strategies that I teach other people. And we use that funding to run all of our ads, paid ads. You know, I got $100,000 of funding for myself, 0% interest business credit cards, started running ads on social media. Those ads brought more people who then wanted to get funding for themselves. You know, so I've always used and practiced what I preach, which I think is important.
Amazing. You kind of said something I wanted to ask about it, but it kind of skipped my mind a bit. You were saying something. Yeah, I think I remember it. So what you do now is a service. It's not necessarily a coaching thing, right?
Yeah, it's a service. I'm not it's not a done with you or, you know, teaching you how to get funding. We get the funding for you.
Amazing. Do you ever?
We've tried all of them. We've tried all the different routes, and we found this to be the most effective.
Amazing. Do you ever see yourself going back into coaching?
No. I mean, who knows? Anything's possible, but probably not. And there's a reason for that. It's just because the variable is the people. You know, somebody will pay you for your coaching, and when they don't hold up their end of the bargain or don't, there's too many variables for me personally. And I like to be able to control what it is that we do and the results that we get for people, and this is the finance space, and we're getting people money for their businesses. So you have to fit these qualifications. If you fit these qualifications, then we can take you, we could take you over the hump. If you don't, then we have other things you can do. The free school can teach you what you need to learn to get yourself ready, to be funded for your business.
Amazing. So then, if coaching is not part of your plans in the future, then kind of tell us, what are some of your goals for 2025?
Our goals are is to keep scaling up the company, keep scaling up the brand. We've been in a very aggressive scaling mode as far as our marketing goes. Last year, we invested heavily into back-end systems and software and AI, fintech to make our business smoother. We have AI underwriting. So, anybody, when they put their information in, it'll tell us, what they can be qualified for, what they need to fix, if something needs to be fixed. So it's really, really, advanced stuff that's helping us to run our business. So now we're just scaling up the team, bringing on more closers, bringing on more fulfillment team. We're adding in additional funding lines this year as far as business loans, SBA loans, MCA, lines of credit, everything that a business could need at any different stage. So we're adding in those lines this year. That's one of our 2025 goals.
Amazing. Kind of let me ask now then, what is one thing you will see that's going to get you there in terms of if we can dial this thing down, then it's going to take us all the way?
Explain that a little bit.
Like what metric? I don't want to say metric, but what is the biggest factor in terms of if you can get this right, you're going to get there no matter what?
So again, I'll go back to Alex Hormozi and his more, better, new framework. So right now we're doing more. We have something that's working. So we are in the process of just doing more of that. And as we're doing more of that, we're doing it better. We're doing it better than we did last year and before that. So now it's the best it's been, but we're going to continue to always strive to improve that and do more of those things. And as far as new, it's just offering more types of loans to serve different markets. That's it. So it's just growing through those stages.
Amazing. Let me kind of ask you the reverse question of that. Like, what is going to hold you back? What is one thing that if you don't sort it out is going to hold you back?
And the only thing that can hold us back now is ourselves. That's
Amazing.
it. Yeah, and we're not letting ourselves get in the way. So, we've scaled up pretty quickly so far, and we're just gonna, keep going. Things break along the way. Problems arise every day, from technical to customers. Well, we solve problems. I think when you're a small business, you're not necessarily the CEO, but I call myself the CPS, the chief problem solver. So I just solve the problems, and until we get to a place where we have other people in the business that are solving those problems for us.
Definitely. When you're creating a business, the end goal is exiting, right?
Possibly. We have a 10-year plan. We're 1 year into that, so 9 years left. We're building the business to be exitable. Doesn't necessarily mean that we will exit, but we want to have that option. And I believe when you build a business that can be exited, you've built a different type of a business. You've built a company versus just, a little side business.
Definitely do agree with you. You said you used a lot of we there. Tell us, is you have a big team, or is it just you on top?
No, I have a business partner. We're 50-50, and then we do have a team as well. So that's why I say we. It's me, myself, and my business partner. But I do more of the face and the social media and the operation side, and he runs all the back end and the CFO type work.
That's amazing. What would you say to kind of the people in our listeners who are young entrepreneurs trying to figure out what to do with this social media thing? Let's say they're less than 10K in terms of income. They don't know what to invest in, what to do in terms of, because here's the thing with social media, right? If you're building your business, right? Let's say this is your business on one hand. You're taking this all the way. You're trying to make sure your fulfillment, right? Your fulfillment is top, right? Now, if you've let's say mastered your fulfillment, but you're not getting people you're not getting in front of people, and you're trying to build the social media thing on your own. But you can't push the two of them at the same time. The more you push the social media thing, the less your delivery comes. So if you're doing it on your own, what would you say to someone who's out there listening?
The same thing I tell everybody else is to get funding, so that way you have the capital to invest into your business. We've looked at what it would take to hire a team in-house, an editor, a content director, a media buyer, and all these different people that it takes to, make the whole media side work. And then versus using, a solid agency or company that does that for you. And it's way more cost effective to use a company that does that for you. Maybe later on when the company's huge, you can have an in-house team, if that makes sense. But, everybody's starting out or in the first 5 years, unless you're making multiple 7 figures, like you got to hire somebody, and that takes that weight off your plate. So you don't have to do that. I was doing that in the beginning, trying to make all my videos and trying to book sales calls and doing the setting, answering the DMs, and doing fulfillment. Right? Every single hat in the business that gets old really, really fast. And you have to start building a team out, and if there's somebody that can, run the social media and the marketing side for you, that takes a huge weight off your plate.
Definitely. I'm curious though, like you said, what did you see? Why did you think building a team in-house is less cost effective than hiring an agency?
No,
because you could just get a bunch of VAs.
No, it's opposite. It's more expensive to hire your own in-house team.
Yeah. So that's so in my mind, I'm thinking like, because a lot of people, coaches, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, because a lot of coaches can say, but I could just go to Fiverr, hire a VA for like $5 an hour and just get some editors. How is that cheaper? How is that more expensive?
I did, but they weren't good. And I did that, but they weren't good. And then you have to come up with all your own scripts, and you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what's good. You don't know how to say a proper hook. You can go, in the beginning, you just start, right? You're bootstrapping, you just hold up the phone and start recording. But as you really try to make your social media become your marketing, you don't know what you're doing, right? You might post 100 videos and no one watches it. So, that's why I think it's good to hire people that do know what they're doing, right? You have a program that does that for people, right? So working with somebody like, you guys who do that for people versus just go and hiring a $5 per video editor. They're just going to edit and throw some flashy things in there of what you did, but who knows if that's good or not.
Yeah, man, I kind of lost you there. You were saying something, going higher on a $5 person, just a little bit, just lost you at the end.
Yeah, so for the VAs on Fiverr and stuff, I was saying that I've done that before, and they'll edit and they'll use CapCut or whatever it is and add in the flash and this and that, but you don't know if it's good, right? That was the videos I was doing in the beginning, and hiring an editor just to, throw it in some software and add some stuff in there and some zooms and stuff like that, but nobody watched it still, so that's why I'm saying having somebody that does know what works, does know what hooks the audience and gets engagement with the right target audience. We work with a marketing agency that does all that for us. So that's what I'm saying is it was way more cost effective to hire them because they have the media buyers and the ad copywriters and the script writers and all the experience and the editors all in one place, versus if I was going to go hire each individual person on my own. So like you told me in the beginning, that's what I do. I go and film for, one day and then just give them all the content and they take it away from there. That takes a huge weight off my shoulder of time and energy and everything I have to do because they're taking care of it, and I can focus on the business.
Yeah, definitely. It's the same thing I was saying. It's like you can't do the both at the same time. You need that support. You need someone to push this hand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. If you don't have to worry about that side of it, and somebody could be taking care of it for you, you can focus on your craft of what your business is.
Yes. I speak to a lot of coaches on here, and the common theme I hear is coaches want to coach. Coaches don't want to worry about what the next social media trend is and what the next editing thing is. They just want to coach.
Yep, exactly.
So what would you say to, again, let me play some devil's advocate here. What would you say to someone who's saying, oh, but a lot of people are out here scamming and they're just going to take my, 3, 4, 5K, and like, I don't even make that much. How do I know who to trust?
It's never going to go away. You got to get over it.
You mean the scamming, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody's going to say that and everyone thinks that. And, I'll just give you an example. We post real client testimonials, real people that got real funding, and everybody still says they're paid actors. Like I have time to sit here and go find a bunch of people to pay to like film this video for me or something. It doesn't matter what kind of proof. Somebody who thinks that everything's a scam is just always going to think everything's a scam. It doesn't matter what proof you show them. It doesn't matter how many reviews, website, but they'll just stay small. They'll never grow. They'll never do anything big. And that's fine. I don't even respond. I get people comment on my ads all the time, scammer. I'm like, okay, cool. Sounds good. When I'm looking for somebody to work with, I do look at the reviews. I do look at their, testimonials, and it's really kind of like a vibe of how it feels. Does it feel like they're going to do some good stuff for you? But I can't tell you how many things we've paid for and not gotten what we thought we were going to get out of it. And I don't regret any of them because each one of those led to something else that did work. So you gotta pay sometimes, and you gotta make mistakes. Learn from it what you can, and go find someone else if that's the case.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying to that point is like, first of all, there's always gonna be scammers. People are always gonna say, on our end, people are always gonna say this thing is a scam. Secondly, you're saying you're never gonna be able to avoid scams 100%. You're gonna fall into one thing where you didn't get what you're paying for at the end of the day, and you should just take that as a turn that L into a lesson and learn from that.
Yeah, you're not going to get to making 10 grand a month if that's where people are starting without losing money first.
Yeah.
You're not going to get to 50 grand a month or 100 grand a month without losing, 100 grand on the way. Like, you got to get comfortable knowing that there's going to be some stuff that you need to learn from. You're not going to hit a home run on the first try. That's why I tell people, like, this is where the 0% interest business funding comes into play, because you can leverage that to help you with some of these decisions. If you're working a job and still trying to build your business, and you're using every single paycheck to invest into your business, it's going to take you years to get anywhere. But if we could inject 100 or 150,000 into your business, you can collapse 3-4 years into 1 year. And you can just learn faster and invest in marketing and invest in your skill set and invest in everything a lot faster than, the slower way.
Definitely. There's this one, when you say this now, it reminds me of this one Hormozy quote. I don't know if you know about it. It's like, everybody has their goals in their business and whatnot. And let's call that goal Hawaii, right? Everyone wants to get to Hawaii, right? You can swim to Hawaii. You can take the bus to Hawaii. You can get a boat to Hawaii, or you can leverage what you have in terms of your income and your resources and take a helicopter to Hawaii.
Yeah, or a private jet.
Or a private jet, exactly. So don't think that, oh, I want to be the hard worker who's grinding it out and I'm swimming, I'm doing all the reps. Just save yourself that time.
Yeah, just collapsing time frames. That's all it is. So take the knowledge of everybody else and apply it to your business. That's what we do.
Amazing. I think we've kind of come full circle here. Let me just ask you this. What is one thing you wish I asked you on the pod?
Just, I think we covered most of it. Just maybe, what's the best way that people can, see if they're qualified for funding or something like that.
So let's kind of get into that before we end. So not everyone is qualified for funding.
No, not everybody's qualified for funding. It has to do with your whole credit profile. So what we're getting for you are high limit business credit cards, right? So these business credit cards, they don't report to your credit report. They report to your EIN, to your LLC. Okay. So they're not going to affect your credit report. That's why it's so important to leverage business credit versus personal credit when you're building your company and your brand. Okay. But to qualify, you already have to have a good personal profile, which would be a 700 or higher score with a good mixture of personal credit cards already that you've taken care of, which means if you have 3 to 5 personal credit cards that have good limits on them, 10,000, 20,000, 15,000, and you have a few of those with low utilization on each card, below 30% utilization on each card, that's a great profile. That mixed with an LLC, now we can get you over $100,000 of business credit that has 0% interest anywhere from 12 to 18 months. So when you have no interest on the money you're using, you could do almost anything.
You could do almost anything, man. You could, there's how do you not make it at that point? Unless, of course, you just go waste the money, doing some crazy stuff.
That happens. But you take the capital with the right offer, right? You know what your offer is, right? If you don't know what your offer is, get $100 million offers to figure out what your offer is. But you have the right offer with the right fulfillment, so you can deliver on that offer. Those two things, and then you add in the marketing, right? So you know how you want to market that, whether it's paid ads or organic or whatever it's going to be, and then you just put the funding behind it, and you're good. That's it.
That's it. You build out the systems, you build out the machine. It's kind of like with ads, man. When you already build your business out, you already built the systems in place, the organic systems in place. Now you want to start running ads. It's kind of like a game. It's like, how much money can I throw at this? If I throw 3K at ads, I get 15K. Okay, how much can I throw now? It's a game.
Yep, that's all it is. And there's no better way to pay for ads than 0% interest business credit cards. Because there's another little cherry on top, is business credit cards give you better point rewards, right? So I think last year we earned something like 1 million points. So we can take that nice all expenses paid trip to Hawaii on points that we got just by running our business and running paid ads.
On 0% interest.
On 0% interest. So it's paying us to use these types of cards.
Amazing. Let's kind of end on this. Where can the people go to find out and learn more about this stuff?
You could start at my Instagram, just my name, Cameron Guyed. We have our website, gocreditpros.com. And then you can even find us on School if you want to join the free School community, learn about it some more. And that's just Go Credit Pros right there on School.
Amazing. I think this has been amazing. Hopefully we can have you on some other time in the future. It kind of break down more of this credit stuff.
Sure.
I really hope you enjoyed this podcast. I want you to go away and execute everything there is that you've learned. Now, one thing I will say is if you're in a position where you're ready to actually take things to another level, you want structured, clear guidance, you want a team that can actually help accelerate you, book in a chat with our advisors. Why? We can blow up your personal brand to attract clients begging to work with you. All you got to do is book in a chat with our advisors and we can help make it happen. Sound fair enough?